There's an ancient book that most people have never heard of. It's called the Book of Enoch, and it tells one of the most incredible stories ever written. The story of a man who was taken to heaven and saw things that would blow your mind. You might know Enoch from the Bible. Genesis only gives him a few lines. Enoch walked with God, and then he was no more because God took him away. That's it. But the Book of Enoch? It goes into crazy detail about what actually happened to him up there. This book was written somewhere between 300 BC and 100 AD. For centuries, it was lost to the Western world. Then, in 1773, a Scottish explorer found copies of it in Ethiopia. And when the Dead Sea Scrolls were discovered in 1947, guess what? Fragments of the Book of Enoch were right there among them. This wasn't just some random text. Early Christians took it seriously. The New Testament book of Jude even quotes from it directly. So what did Enoch see? Let's take this journey together. According to the Book of Enoch, chapter 14, Enoch didn't just float up to heaven on his own. He was lifted up by clouds and lightning, carried by the wind itself. He describes being pulled up into the sky, flying through the air, taken into the heavens. 4 archangels were with him: Uriel, Raphael, Michael, and Gabriel. These weren't just any angels. They were his tour guides, showing him the secrets of the universe, explaining how everything works. Here's the thing. Heaven in the Book of Enoch isn't just one place. It's not like you die and go to heaven, and that's it. No, heaven is layered. It's like a building with multiple floors, each one completely different from the others. Some traditions talk about 7 heavens, others mention 10. Let's walk through what Enoch actually saw. The first heaven is the closest to earth. It's basically the sky, the atmosphere, the clouds, the weather. But Enoch didn't see it the way we do when we look up. In chapter 60 of the Book of Enoch, he saw storehouses of the winds. Imagine massive warehouses in the sky where different winds are kept, each one ready to be released at the right time. Chapter 41 talks about storehouses of snow and hail, rain and dew. These aren't just natural phenomena happening randomly. Angels are in charge of all of it, releasing these elements according to God's command. Enoch saw the angels who control the seasons. Chapters 72 through 82, sometimes called the astronomical book, go into incredible detail about how the sun and moon move, how they determine day and night, summer and winter. There's an angel named Uriel who explained all of this to Enoch, showing him the paths of the sun through 12 gates in the sky, the phases of the moon, the reason for eclipses. What struck Enoch was this: nothing up there is random. The rain doesn't just fall whenever. The wind doesn't just blow from any direction. Everything is managed, controlled, ordered. The first heaven revealed that nature itself operates under divine management. Then Enoch went higher, to the second heaven, and suddenly, everything changed. This place was dark, oppressively dark. It was a prison. Chapters 6 through 16 of the Book of Enoch tell one of the strangest stories in ancient literature. There was a group of angels called the Watchers. God sent them to earth to watch over humanity. But when they got down there, they saw human women and found them beautiful. 200 of these angels, led by one named Semyaza, made a pact. They came down to Mount Hermon and took human wives. This wasn't just about breaking a rule. These angels taught humans things they weren't supposed to know. An angel named Azazel taught men how to make weapons and swords. He taught women cosmetics and the art of beautifying themselves. Another angel, Shemyaza, taught sorcery and root cutting. Barakel taught astrology. The list goes on. The children born from these unions were giants, the Nephilim. They were violent, destructive, and they corrupted the earth. That's actually one of the reasons for the great flood in Noah's time, to wipe out this corruption. The second heaven, chapter 21 describes, is where these fallen angels are imprisoned. Enoch says, "I came to a place where there was nothing. I saw a terrible place, with no heaven above and no foundation below. It was a chaotic, empty place. These angels were bound in chains, trapped in darkness, waiting for the final judgment. When they saw Enoch, They begged him, "Please, ask God to forgive us." But the answer came back, "No, what they did was too terrible. There would be no forgiveness." The second heaven is a warning, a reminder that rebellion against God has consequences that last forever. The third heaven was split into two completely opposite sections. The Book of Enoch, chapters 8 through 10, describes this in vivid detail. On the northern side was paradise. Not just any paradise, the paradise, the Garden of Eden. And it was still there, still perfect, still beautiful. Enoch describes trees covered in blossoms, fruits hanging from every branch, fragrances filling the air. At the center stood the tree of life, more beautiful than anything created, radiating glory. 4 rivers flowed through paradise, not just water, but rivers of honey, milk, oil, and wine. 300 angels guarded the garden, shining with light, singing with voices so beautiful that Enoch said he'd never heard anything like it. This is where the souls of the righteous go after they die. They rest here, waiting for the resurrection, waiting for the final judgment, waiting for their eternal reward. Enoch saw them, peaceful, joyful, surrounded by beauty. But on the southern side of the third heaven was the complete opposite, a place of fire and darkness. Enoch describes rivers of fire, torture prepared for the wicked. This isn't the final hell. It's like a holding cell, a prison for souls waiting for Judgment Day. The third heaven showed Enoch something crucial. The choices we make in life have eternal consequences. Righteousness leads to paradise. Wickedness leads to that place of fire. There's no middle ground. When Enoch reached the fourth heaven, he entered a realm of cosmic wonder. Chapters 11 through 17 of 2 Enoch describe this in detail. This is where the sun lives. Not just the sun we see in the sky. Enoch saw the sun's chariot, pulled by angels called cherubim with 6 wings. 100 angels escort the sun on its daily journey. 400 angels in the form of phoenixes surround it, their wings creating wind that drives it forward. The moon has its own path, accompanied by 200 angels. Enoch learned that the phases of the moon aren't random. They're precisely calculated, controlled, intentional. But the most amazing part was learning about the stars. Chapters 72 through 82 of 1 Enoch, the astronomical book, contain incredibly detailed information about how the heavens work. Enoch learned that the year has 364 days, divided into 4 equal seasons of 91 days each. The sun enters through 12 different gates throughout the year. The moon has its own 12 gates, controlling its phases. Uriel, the angel of light, explained everything to Enoch. How eclipses happen, the names of the stars, how the heavenly bodies influence seasons and harvests on earth. Everything followed mathematical precision, divine order. The fourth heaven taught Enoch that the universe isn't chaotic. From the largest star to the smallest unit of time, everything runs on a perfect system designed by God. The fifth heaven was strange and sad. Chapter 18 of 2. Enoch describes what Enoch found there. Angels, but not the joyful, radiant angels he'd seen elsewhere. These angels were silent, sorrowful. They were called the Grigori, another name for watchers. But these weren't fully fallen like the ones in the second heaven. Their leaders had names: Satael, Atar, Ariel, and others. When Enoch asked them why they looked so miserable, they answered, "We used to be with the Lord in the seventh heaven, but we followed our prince when he rebelled. Now we're stuck here in grief, unable to go up or fully fall down." These angels were in limbo, not in paradise, not in hell, but somewhere in between. They regretted their choice, but it was too late to go back. They couldn't face God in the seventh heaven, but they refused to completely fall into darkness either. They just waited. The fifth heaven was a picture of unresolved guilt, of being stuck between 2 worlds. The sixth heaven was completely different. Chapter 20 of 2. Enoch describes this as the realm of scholar angels and wise angels. These angels study, they observe, they record, they watch over the movements of stars, the patterns of weather, the history of humanity, the laws of nature. Everything that happens on earth and in the heavens is documented here. 7 archangels command the 6th heaven. They coordinate everything, making sure God's will is carried out at every level of reality. They're like the administrators of the universe, ensuring that the laws of heaven and earth are maintained. This heaven reminded Enoch that nothing escapes God's notice. Every action, every word, every thought is known and recorded. Then Enoch reached the 7th heaven, and words started to fail him. Chapter 14 of 1. Enoch tries to describe what he saw. He says, "I looked up and saw a house built of hailstones. Its walls and floor were like snow tiles. Its ceiling was like the path of stars and lightning. Among them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was like water. Fire surrounded the walls, and its doors blazed with fire." The 3rd heaven showed Enoch something crucial. The choices we make in life have eternal consequences. Righteousness leads to paradise. Wickedness leads to that place of fire. There's no middle ground. When Enoch reached the 4th heaven, he entered a realm of cosmic wonder. Chapters 11 through 17 of 2 Enoch describe this in detail. This is where the sun lives. Not just the sun we see in the sky. Enoch saw the sun's chariot, pulled by angels called cherubim with 6 wings. 100 angels escort the sun on its daily journey. 400 angels in the form of phoenixes surround it, their wings creating wind that drives it forward. The moon has its own path, accompanied by 200 angels. Enoch learned that the phases of the moon aren't random. They're precisely calculated, controlled, intentional. But the most amazing part was learning about the stars. Chapters 72 through 82 of 1 Enoch, the astronomical book, contain incredibly detailed information about how the heavens work. Enoch learned that the year has 364 days, divided into 4 equal seasons of 91 days each. The sun enters through 12 different gates throughout the year. The moon has its own 12 gates, controlling its phases. Uriel, the angel of light, explained everything to Enoch. How eclipses happen, the names of the stars, how the heavenly bodies influence seasons and harvests on earth. Everything followed mathematical precision, divine order. The 4th heaven taught Enoch that the universe isn't chaotic. From the largest star to the smallest unit of time, everything runs on a perfect system designed by God. The 5th heaven was strange and sad. Chapter 18 of 2. Enoch describes what Enoch found there. Angels, but not the joyful, radiant angels he'd seen elsewhere. These angels were silent, sorrowful. They were called the Grigori, another name for watchers, but these weren't fully fallen like the ones in the 2nd heaven. Their leaders had names: Satael, Attar, Ariel, and others. When Enoch asked them why they looked so miserable, they answered, "We used to be with the Lord in the 7th heaven, but we followed our prince when he rebelled. Now we're stuck here, in grief, unable to go up or fully fall down." These angels were in limbo. Not in paradise, not in hell, but somewhere in between. They regretted their choice, but it was too late to go back. They couldn't face God in the 7th heaven, but they refused to completely fall into darkness either. They just waited. The 5th heaven was a picture of unresolved guilt, of being stuck between 2 worlds. The 6th heaven was completely different. Chapter 20 of 2. Enoch describes this as the realm of scholar angels and wise angels. These angels study, they observe, they record, they watch over the movements of stars, the patterns of weather, the history of humanity, the laws of nature. Everything that happens on earth and in the heavens is documented here. 7 archangels command the 6th heaven. They coordinate everything, making sure God's will is carried out at every level of reality. They're like the administrators of the universe, ensuring that the laws of heaven and earth are maintained. This heaven reminded Enoch that nothing escapes God's notice. Every action, every word, every thought is known and recorded. Then Enoch reached the seventh heaven, and words started to fail him. Chapter 14. Of one, Enoch tries to describe what he saw. He says, "I looked up and saw a house built of hailstones. Its walls and floor were like snow tiles. Its ceiling was like the path of stars and lightning. Among them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was like water. Fire surrounded the walls, and its doors blazed with fire. And I saw a high throne. Its appearance was like crystal, and its wheels like the shining sun, and cherubim surrounded it. From underneath the throne came streams of flaming fire. The great glory sat upon it. His raiment was brighter than the sun, whiter than snow. No angel could enter, no flesh could look upon his face because of the magnificent glory." Enoch continues, "Around him were 10,000 times 10,000 angels standing before him. Yet he needed no counselor. The most holy ones near him did not leave by night or day, and they never departed from him." Chapters 21 and 22 of 2 Enoch add more details. Enoch saw angelic armies divided into 10 ranks. 6-winged seraphim, many-eyed cherubim, all surrounding the throne, praising continuously, "Holy, holy, holy, Lord of hosts." Then something incredible happened. God commanded the archangel Michael to bring Enoch closer. Michael removed Enoch's earthly clothes and dressed him in garments of glory. He anointed Enoch with sacred oil. Enoch looked at himself and said, "I saw that I had become like one of the glorious ones." God himself spoke to Enoch. He revealed the secrets of creation, how he made everything from nothing in 6 days. He showed Enoch the history of humanity from Adam to the end of time. He explained the origin of good and evil, the purpose of angels, the nature of time and eternity. God showed Enoch the books of life and books of records, where every person's deeds and destiny were written down. Enoch spent 60 days in heaven, though on earth only 30 days passed. He was learning, absorbing, being transformed by the knowledge of divine mysteries. Some later traditions speak of even higher heavens, an 8th, 9th, and 10th heaven. These appear more in later Jewish mysticism and some Christian texts, rather than in the original books of Enoch. The 8th heaven is described as the realm of the invisible, pure spiritual existence beyond form. The 9th heaven is said to be where angels originated, where souls existed before creation. The 10th heaven, in some traditions, is God's most sacred sanctuary, a place even archangels cannot enter. But we should note that these higher levels come from later writings, not from the main Enochian texts. After his time in heaven, Enoch was sent back to earth. He had 30 days to teach his sons, especially Methuselah, everything he had learned. He wrote it all down. 366 books, according to 2 Enoch. He taught about righteousness, justice, mercy, and the coming judgment. Then, after 30 days, he was taken back to heaven permanently. He never experienced death. Like Elijah after him, Enoch was simply taken away. The Book of Enoch was extremely influential in early Judaism and Christianity. The New Testament letter of Jude directly quotes from it. Church fathers like Tertullian and Origen referenced it. For centuries, it shaped how people understood angels, demons, the structure of the cosmos, and the end times. Even though most Christian denominations don't include it in their official Bible, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church still considers it scripture, and its influence can be seen throughout biblical theology. What can we take from Enoch's journey? A few things stand out. First, there's more to reality than what we can see. The physical world we live in is just one layer of a much bigger existence. There are spiritual realms above us, beneath us, around us. Second, the universe operates on order, not chaos. From the paths of stars to the fall of rain, everything follows divine design. Nothing is random. Third, our moral choices matter eternally. The third, heaven's division between paradise and the place of fire makes that clear. How we live now determines where we'll be forever. Fourth, even though we're small, We're given the privilege of knowing these mysteries. God didn't keep Enoch's visions secret. He told Enoch to write them down, to teach them, to pass them on. The Book of Enoch, whether you view it as scripture or as ancient literature, carries a message that has resonated for over 2,000 years. A message of awe, of order, of consequence, of hope. Heaven isn't just a destination. It's an invitation to look beyond the material world and consider what lies deeper, to live with the awareness that this life is not all there is, that our choices echo into eternity, that above the sky, beyond the stars, there is a throne, and on that throne sits the one who created everything. Enoch walked with God, and for a brief moment, he was allowed to see what lies beyond the veil. His message to us is simple. Heaven is real. The choice is ours.